This is India. This is Gujarat in western India. And this is not an untypical scene, but it's women at a mosque worshipping. And to be honest, I would never have been confident enough to go in with them, because I would have been afraid of causing offence and feeling unwelcome. But we'd asked if we could do a city tour with local guides, local volunteers, and they arranged it for us. And because they told me it was okay, I understood that I would be welcome. And that, to me, gave me permission to really relax and enjoy myself. And we just joined in the throng and in the crowd. Also, celebrations kicking off down the street, worshipping various gods, paint-throwing festivals. This one we stopped and looked at through the window of our car. But then the people started to become interested and to welcome us. And so we got out and we joined in. And it was just wonderful. We were the only tourists there, and we just felt welcomed and part of it. And we walked for an hour or two through the streets, celebrating and throwing paint. And it was one of those magic, accidental experiences, which I think travel for me is all about. Those unplanned, spontaneous moments that just happen. But of course, you have to be prepared and open and ready to take them when the opportunity presents itself. This is a random picture. I've just put it in because this guy, I mean, how cool is that? This is one of the poorest guys in the community. He simply looks after his cattle, but look at that for an outfit. That is fantastic. The smartest guy you could ever meet, and that is in Rajasthan, which is the neighboring state to Gujarat. If you ever find yourself in Gujarat, the best hotel to stay at is the House of MG. It's a heritage hotel, very traditional, very old, full of history and dark wood and colonial feel to it. But this I saw downstairs, and I'm a student of responsible tourism, but this was fantastic. They basically measured your energy consumption in your room, calculated it back, gave you a gift voucher, and had a fantastic shop downstairs, which was all the local craftsmen, traders from the area were invited in to come and sell goods. So you could save a bit of energy, come back and get a free gift. Fantastic. I thought that was really inspiring and wonderful. Best beach in the world. This is the best beach in the world, I think. I'm pretty sure it is. It's in Scotland, and I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is. It's a 40-minute walk from the nearest road. Crystal white sand. Nobody there. And the reason that I discovered this was not through a guidebook, but it was asking in the local pub. Spent an evening in the local pub, had a few beers, and asked the locals if there was somewhere special to go and swim the next day. And this is what they recommended. And I treasure it. It's a very special place. But again, it just shows what happens if you are prepared to engage and listen and talk with local people. I think the traditional habit is the Western habit, particularly when you travel, is to know all the answers. That's our approach. We always know all the answers. But I think if you can cultivate the art of asking questions, you discover some really magical and different travel experiences. I also asked if there was a way I could go out fishing with one of the local guys, because I'd seen these little boats, little crabbing boats. And what they said was, yes, there was one guy who struggled to make a living from traditional fishing, it's crab and langoustine, and had set up a little tourism business, so you could go out with him. And this is him. And he fished, I mean, full-on fishing, trying his hardest to get whatever he could. And we just sat and took part and helped out a little bit. And that, for me, was a really authentic experience. It wasn't a tourist trip. He was fishing. We were just along for the ride. Massive crabs, huge, great crabs. Scottish langoustines, which we took back, 50p each. Took 10 of them back and cooked them that afternoon. And the most amazing sea life that was coming up from Western Scotland. Again, that was for me traveling like a local, but it was also a trip which I knew created a benefit for him. He could sustain his traditional way of life, because I was paying a little bit to go and spend time with him. And that made it even more special to me. It gave me even more sense of being worthwhile.